So welcome everybody. So good to connect with you and with our beautiful community. Just let us know where you're tuning in from. And if it so happens that this is your first actual live with us, please let us know. It has been so long since we ran a live workshop. Those of you that have come to many of those maybe have noticed that we haven't been in such a room for, when was it the last time, team? I think it was March, maybe March. Anyway, I'm so excited to see some of your beautiful, familiar faces. Hello, Ganilla. Hello, Monica, Katrina, Serena. Who else am I seeing here? Emily. Hi, Malanda. Good to see you. So happy that you're here. Hello, Tove. Hello, Colette. Hello, Allison. Beautiful to see you. Lisa. I'm Linda Pierce. Open your cameras. I would absolutely love to see you. It's so beautiful to see everybody. Judith, hello. I'm not sure if we've ever met. So wonderful to have you here. And Susan, I'm not sure if we've ever met. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Okay, so please say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let me pour a glass of water that I did not do before we started, and we will kick it off right away. We are going to talk about a very, 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 we're going to go right into it, right? Like we're going to dive deep right into it. So this is why this is an event that we have invited our community to. So most of you have been, hi, Krista, good to have you here. I think I saw your face before. Open your cameras, everybody. If you can, if you're driving, good to see you here. If you're driving or, taking a shower or something, don't open your cameras, please. The reason we invited our community to this, and not anyone kind of new, through ads or whatnot, is because we're going to go right into the depth of the material. So most of you, I'm sure, have been to a workshop with us or watched replays or listened to, what I'm teaching, and have done this work here or with other, in other spaces before, and you're not new to this material. If you are, that's okay too. Maybe you can let me know in the chat, okay? Just let me know. I don't know how I landed here and what is this field and creation all about. So I know that we want to back it up a little bit. But otherwise, we're going to go right into it. We're going to do some study together. So we're going to read a little bit. I'm going to read a little bit to you from the books that I study. And we're going to go deeper into the creative process and how to direct infinite intelligence, source energy from the field to physical reality, because that's how everything in physical reality has manifested in physical reality, right? So if you can put in the chat before I go in and see where everybody are coming from, because I love seeing that. It's so cool to connect with people around the world in this focal point of time and space. I love it every time. But before I go there, if you can put in the chat the number one, if this is resonating with you, or if this is, making sense to you, that everything in the physical reality is actually created first in the non-physical field. Is this like something that a concept you're aware of? Thumbs up is also okay, although I cannot see everybody at once. But if you're opening your cameras, I will probably be able to see you thumbing up. Yeah, if this is familiar to you, resonating with you, and maybe put a 2 if not, okay? So I want to know also if not. So 1 if this is resonating or familiar, 2 if not, so we can see what is our starting point. Okay, now I haven't taken that sip of water yet, just a sec. Because, and this is, it sounds like a beautiful, concept or way of speaking, but it is a scientific truth, right? It is a scientific truth. For some years now, we as humanity and culture, we know that. We know that everything is first created in the field, in the non-physical field, and then manifests into reality. We know that physical reality and everything and one in it, as solid as it may appear to us, and as separate from everything else that it may appear to us, is actually not. The field is not somewhere out there. It's not like outer space, right? Sometimes when I think about the field, the quantum field, the unified field, I'm noticing that still in my mind, there is some sort of I'm not like consciously thinking that thought or even imagining it like that, but it's somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, have you had that? Like, if you think about how do you think when I'm saying the field, everything is first created in the field, don't you have like this sense of like it's out there and then it comes in here, right? But it's not really like that. It's not really like that because that field is everywhere all at once. It's in every cell of your body. It's in every atom of everything and one of us and all around us. It's in and all around us. That's the mind-blowing thing here, yeah? It's as accessible to you, as close to you, as accessible and close to you as your own body, as your own breath. And the only thing you need in order to access it is awareness, because that's the only thing that exists there. And we're going to go into those things today, okay? We're going to go into this to understand that better. And so let's look at the chat for a second just to see what do we have here. So I'm going to start from the top. Okay, Serena, you are here in Berlin today. Where are you on my screen? Serena, I lost you. Maybe she turned off her camera, or I'm just seeing too many. Oh, there you are. You're here in Berlin. So I'm in Berlin. If you are new to here, or you don't know that about me, I'm here. So that's amazing. You're close to me. You should have told me. You can text me later. Okay, so hello. I'm in Berlin as well. Sweden, Monica, good to have you here. Hello, Alka, in Sweden as well. Beautiful. Denmark. Okay, everybody are cooking. This is dinner time. Italy, Sweden. Hi, Lisa. Good to have you here. Belgium. Welcome, welcome. Finland, Italy, France, Norway, Netherlands, Denmark, Germany. Love it, love it. Okay, and here are the numbers. So I see only ones so far. Okay, new here, but not new to the subject. Hello, Anne Charlotte. Good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Okay, one, but still not having complete management. Well, that's okay. The field's still very abstract. Yes, you will be able to get the recording for this event. The answer is yes. Hi, Lucy Love from Czech. Good to have you here. Okay, sport. That's really good. Okay, so Ibiza. Hi, Lenka. Good to have you here, love. Okay, so all of you that chose to comment here, resonate with that. See that as a like familiar with this concept, right? And so, what I want to start with is actually from a book. All right, so from a book. We're going to be here just for kind of housekeeping and to know what's going to happen. As usual, I say 90 minutes. Usually it's longer because I love doing this. But we're going to be here for probably about 90 minutes. Hi, Akiko. Oh, I haven't seen you for a long time. Hi, love. Beautiful to have you here. Okay. Hi, Kati. Hi, Viviana. Hi, Antonella. Oh, so wonderful to see everybody here. Really, really beautiful. Okay, so what I want to start reading from is from this book. It looks like a Bible, and for many people it is. It's Think and Grow Rich, okay? It's the good old Think and Grow Rich. I'm going to read just a small section from this, okay? This is from the chapter Faith, if you want to find it later. The ether is a great cosmic mass of eternal forces of vibration. I'll read that again. The ether is a great cosmic mass of eternal forces of vibration. It is made up of both destructive vibrations and constructive vibrations. It carries at all times vibrations of fear, poverty, disease, failure, misery, and vibrations of prosperity, health, success, and happiness, just as surely as it carries the sound of hundreds of orchestrations of music and hundreds of human voices, all of which maintain their own individuality and means of identification through the medium of radio. From the great storehouse of the ether, the human mind is constantly attracting vibrations which harmonize with that which dominates the human mind. I'm going to read this one again. So far, we've learned that the ether, that's the field, right, contains all the vibrations, all possibilities, right? All possibilities. And from this great storehouse of the ether, the human mind is constantly attracting vibrations which harmonize with that which dominates the human mind. Any thought, idea, plan, or purpose which one holds in one's mind attracts, from the vibrations of the ether, a host of its relatives. I'm going to talk about that. A host of its relatives adds these relatives to its own force and grows until it becomes the dominating, motivating master of the individual in whose mind it has been housed. So let's break this down a little bit. And this was written, by the way, in 1937. And of course, that's already quite late. All this has been written in the first book that was ever written, right? And has been known even before that book, the Bible, was written even. So that's the field, right? And the human mind is a very powerful instrument. You are not your mind, right? You are not your mind. Who you truly are is not your mind, definitely not your body. Who you truly are is awareness. Who you truly are is awareness, pure awareness, spiritual being, awareness. I just tattooed this on my arm yesterday. I don't know if you can see it. I am, to remind me that this is who I am. This is who I am. And everything that comes after these words, I am, is the conditioning. Yeah, is the conditioning and patterning and programming. So when I say I am overwhelmed, then that's who I am in the moment that I am overwhelmed. If I say I am successful, then so be it. I am successful. And we get to say, I am grateful. Hey, Aaron, good to have you here, my friend. Hello. If I say I am grateful, then that is who I am when I say that. And we tend to say I am a lot, right? I'm late, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that. And most of the time, what we say there, what we declare, is from a program that the human mind is running on. The instrument, as I call it, right? I call it the human instrument. It's your mind and your body. It's a combination of your mind and body. It's the human instrument. And it runs on a program. And so whatever we put after that I am, mostly the dominating identification that we carry is conditioning. And that is what then creates conditions, right? So as we said, everything in the physical reality is a manifestation of a potentiality in the field. The ether, the field, contains all potentialities, all possibilities, the sickness, the poverty, the this and that, and the prosperity and health and this and that, right? That's what we were just reading from Napoleon Hill. So all possibilities exist in the field, in that ether, in that storehouse of the ether. And what we then experience in our conditions is based on our conditioning. Who we truly are is the I am, is awareness. But that awareness, that spiritual being, that source energy then manifests to and through us through this human instrument that we most of the time identify ourselves with, but it's not who we truly are. It's just hosting us. It's an instrument for us as spiritual beings, for life, to then create an experience, and expand creation. And so that's not how we move around most of the time in this instrument and in this physical reality, right? Most of the time, we give our attention to the physical reality, which is the tiny, tiny little bit of what reality really is. The tiny, tiny little bit of what reality really is. That's what we give our attention to the conditions that are actually created from the conditioning that we then express when we say, I am this, I am that. And that's what we then experience. But we could, and that's the skill, we can, in fact, create a new reality. When we change our conditioning, our conditions will reflect that new conditioning. When we choose what we put after these two words, but not when we choose it, in a moment of inspiration, or in a moment of motivation, or in a moment of meditation. Yeah? But when we choose it, what is most dominant, what dominates. So when we were reading here, if we go back to this for a second, it says, from the great storehouse of the ether, the human mind is constantly attracting vibrations which harmonize with that which dominates the human mind. So what dominates your instrument is what attracts from the great storehouse of the ether that has all possibilities. It has poverty and it has wealth. It has sickness and it has health. And everything in between. What you're attracting from that field is what dominates your instrument, your conditioning. Yes? And so I want to read another little thing written a few years after that. So this was 1937. This is 2017. And this is Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I actually marked really big chunks to read from here, but I don't know if that will be, let's see how we go. Okay. But this is very helpful for us. Hang on, I have too many things here around me. This is going to be very helpful for us to understand the field, not just as a concept, etheric, airy kind of thing, but as a fact. The quantum field, or the unified field, is an invisible field of energy and information. Or you could say a field of intelligence or consciousness that exists beyond space and time. Nothing physical or material exists there. It's beyond anything you can perceive with your senses. This unified field of energy and information is what governs all the laws of nature. I'm going to skip a little bit ahead. So scientists found that atoms, the building blocks of everything in the physical universe, are made up of nucleus surrounded by a large field containing one or more electrons. Okay? That's pretty basic. We learn it in school even, depending on what you major in, right? But you might learn it in high school or even before, I don't remember. But that's pretty basic, right? There are atoms, electrons. Okay, so again, they found that atoms, the building blocks of everything in the physical universe, which we most of the time consider as reality, right? Even if we know all this stuff, we know it, we still, most of the time, consider everything here in the physical world as reality, right? Let's face it, we do that. Even when we read all the books and do all the things to meditate and grow and expand, we still consider this physical. And we know that by the way we react, by the way we feel, right? We know that we are reacting to conditions and circumstances. Anyway, let's continue here for a second. So everything in the physical universe are made up of nucleus surrounded by a large field containing one or more electrons. All right. This field is so large in comparison with the tiny electrons that appear to be 99.999999999% empty space. So in every single atom, there is almost 100% empty space, what appears to be empty space. So in my hand is empty. It's not empty. We're going to continue reading for a moment, but it's definitely not what seems to be matter, solid matter, in every single thing. Every single thing. Yeah, that space isn't actually empty. It's made up of a vast array of energetic frequencies that make up an invisible, interconnected field of information. So everything in our known universe, although it may appear to be solid, is actually 99.9999999% energy or information. In fact, most of the universe is made up of this empty space. Matter is an infinitesimally small component in relation to the immense space of nothing physical. So that's what I meant when I said that the unified field is not out there and then it shoots matter into here and then we have this 3D reality. It's not like that, right? So the dimensions of reality are all at once. The field is everything all at once because everything is made of it, actually. And we just get to perceive with our senses and experience as our reality that 0.0000009% that then manifests. Okay? Now, how does it manifest? Let's continue. Are you okay with some reading more? I can only see the ones on camera and they're all nodding and giving me thumbs up. So I'm going to go with that, okay? Researchers soon discovered that the electrons that move around in that vast field behave in a completely unpredictable manner. Okay? They don't appear to be subject to the same laws that govern matter in our larger universe. Larger universe as in, so we experience the universe as the physical universe. The world we live in is quite large, right? It holds houses and countries and planets and the sun and all that is nothing compared to this field. It's zero. All of what I just said, including the sun, is part of that 0.0000000. That we can't even grasp that idea fully, right? And so in that natural universe, in the 3D, there are certain laws, gravity and so on. So the electrons in the field that is in every single atom don't behave by those laws. They are completely unpredictable. They're here in one moment and then gone the next. And it's impossible to predict where and when the electrons will appear. That's because, as the researchers eventually discovered, the electrons exist simultaneously in an infinite number of possibilities or probabilities. Yeah, so we say it's all here. There's no, well, we're not going to go into timelines and, and all of that stuff. We can go from here in many directions of like understanding and conversation and practice. We're not going to go into timelines, but again, most of you are here not new to this work. So when we talk about shifting timelines and everything exists now, like as simple as that, right? Let me continue reading. So I'll just go back that sentence. The electrons exist simultaneously in an infinite number of possibilities or probabilities. It is only when an observer focuses his or her attention and looks for something material that the invisible field of energy and information collapses into a particle we know as the electron. Let me read that again. It is only when an observer focuses his or her attention and looks for something material that the invisible field of energy and information collapses into a particle we know as an electron. That is called collapsing the wave function or a quantum event. But as soon as the observer looks away, no longer observing the electron and taking his or her mind off the subatomic matter, it disappears back into energy. So let's pause here with this book, but let's just understand. When you're saying, I am overwhelmed, I am struggling. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I hear that a lot. I'm struggling to ... Let's be honest. You say that. I'm struggling to find time to blah, 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 blah. I'm struggling to find clients for my blah, 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 blah. I'm struggling to get a job that will blah, blah, blah. I'm struggling to find a good man that blah, blah, blah. I'm struggling to... I hear that all the time. You're not struggling, okay? You're just conditioned, okay? So anyway, sorry. We all do that, right? I don't do that actually. I'm not saying that I'm enlightened completely, but I don't use the word struggle. I do not use it. And I really encourage you to eliminate that word from your vocabulary. You can say the same thing in a different way. Okay? You can say the same thing in a different way. I haven't yet found a way. Okay. Again, not what we're going to go into right now on how to reword that, but just a little tip while we're here, remove that word from your vocabulary, right? Unless you want to struggle. Unless you want to suffer and struggle. So, a sip of water. So when we say I'm struggling or I'm this or I'm that, we are observing that possibility, right? But we just read that every single thing, so that job, that client, that time to work out, to rest, to write your book, to start your business, that handsome partner or whatever it may be is made of electrons, is made of atoms, right? All of it is made of atoms, right? So that means that in those atoms, there is 99.99999% field, the field. And then there are those electrons in there that are not materializing in any specific way and can do so in any way. And is doing, though, in the way that you are expecting and observing and affirming when you say, I'm struggling to ... or whatever it may be. Well, you get to choose whatever you put after these two words. But you make that choice automatically, right? So you all, I'm sure, or most of you heard me that when I say that freedom is a skill, right? That's the book, The Skill of Freedom. Here's my book, The Skill of Freedom, because that freedom, that choice, the only freedom you have is that choice that you're making. This is the freedom. I should have put it in a different way. It's very hard to show it on camera in a different spot. I should have put it here. But I put it here because this is where I see it. And that's the whole point, right? It's for me. So that, what you put here, that's your freedom, the one and only freedom, and the one and only freedom you need, right? And that freedom or that choice is a skill. So you're saying I'm struggling or I am whatever that may be, and collapsing those quantum events, those electrons back to where they were the moment before, what appears to be continuous along time, along that linear timeline that is only a perception of ours, because you know that Einstein said that what we call past, present, and future are just persistently stubborn illusion, or stubbornly persistent illusion. I don't remember the exact wording, what comes first. Yeah, it doesn't exist. That's it. It's because you're conditioned. So again, if we take what we just read from Dr. Joe Dispenza and what we read from Napoleon Hill, right? You are making those observations, you the observer, I am the awareness. That's who you truly are. You are awareness, and you are directing your light of awareness, your attention You are aware of what is dominating in your mind is what you are attracting from the field, is how Napoleon Hill called it. And here we've learned that it is what makes the electrons appear. So that's what you then get. Yes? And it's many, many, remember what you were reading before? Now it may make more sense. Let me just grab this book back. When he says, any thought, idea, plan, or purpose which one holds in one mind attracts from the vibrations of the ether a host of its relatives. So those are, if you listen to Abraham Hicks, you will know the term cooperative components, right? So those are those cooperative components. Those are the different manifestations of possibilities collapsing together, materializing into your physical reality. So let me know in the chat if this is so far landing. Are you with me? Okay, I see that I've missed some things in the chat. Okay, not too much. Which of his books? This was Becoming Supernatural. Dr. Joe's Becoming Supernatural. Our 5 basic senses are so limited. Absolutely. And we give all of our attention. Speaking of observation, seriously, like, let's be honest. Where are you giving most of your wonderful attention? This pure source energy. Where are you directing it most of the time? To this very, very limited portion of what reality really is that you are getting through your senses, which is anyway what already manifested. If there is such a thing as a past, it's what you see and hear and smell and taste and touch. That's actually the past. So now when I'm looking around me, that's the past. Right? But that's when and then we copy paste it. Okay, so everything is resonating here with everybody. Landing. Oh, Serena, that's a cool emoji to put in this context. Landing. Beautiful. Okay. So then, how does this work then? Let's translate this into other terms a little bit. And let's talk about our beautiful human instrument, because it is with your human instrument that you're doing all that, right? So again, I am pure energy, pure source energy. And it's manifesting through the physical instrument to create an experience. So let's talk a little bit about that. Okay, just texting my team for a moment. So let's talk about it in these terms for a moment. There is someone who's unmuted. Let's just make sure, because I'm so, here we go. Found it. All right. All right, so from this ether that is everywhere all at once, the conscious mind, which is one part of the instrument, the conscious mind, the part of your mind, the part of the instrument with which you are thinking, imagining, reasoning, processing information, is perceiving the idea, the concept. It's the part that conceives, right? It translates this formless energy into a form, a thought form, you can call it, right? And then the subconscious part of the instrument is the one that receives that concept, and then realizes it through vibration. Dr. Joe Dispenza says the thought sends the signal out and the feeling draws the event back. It's the same thing. The thought sends the signal out to the field and the feeling draws the event back, right? So it's not only to think the thought, right? It's not only to think of whatever it is that you desire. It's important, very, very important to know what you want to create and experience. But then I'm sure you all resonate or find it familiar, rather, that there's a gap many times between the thought of what you want and your experience actually, right? You're not experiencing that. And that's because of what is dominant in the mind, the feeling, right? What you're really actually putting here after the I am. What is dominating there? What is really is received by the instrument, the seed that is actually planted. Think about it. And this is really, we're not going to go too deep into that, but that's masculine and feminine energetics, actually. The conscious mind is the masculine energy, right? It's the masculine current in the instrument. That's the one that, think about it, an idea is a seed. So now think about how life is conceived in the woman's body, right? All these sperms are racing to the goal, and then one is received, right? And that one which is received, if it's planted and nurtured and, and that process it is sustained through that incubation period, then it realizes itself in the form of a person, right? So it's the same thing. There are many, 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 many thoughts. You think many, many thoughts, right? You think about what you want and you think about what you don't want. You think about what you hope for and you think about what you dread. You think about what happened and you think, oh, well, it will happen. You think of what's happening. You have a million thoughts all the time. But so they are all like all these sperms, right? All these seeds. And the seeds that are received in the soil, in the womb, in the subconscious, in the feminine current of creation and the instrument, is what is then realized in 3D reality. Is that making sense? Now, we are in an age for a very long time, for centuries and centuries, that the masculine is very dominant, right? Of course, I'm not talking about gender, obviously, or sexuality or any of that, right? And so the mind, the intellectual mind is very, very strong. And we follow with our actions, hoping that that's what's going to create the results that we want. But the feminine is not about pushing, and it's not about strategizing. It's about receiving. It's about feeling. It's about believing. And that's what draws the event back. The thought sends the signal out. It's sent. But what out of all the possibilities that exist, all those sperms, all the signals that are sent out, what you attract back to you is the feeling. Yes? And the feeling is conditioned. So it was conditioned early on in your life. We're not going to go into that today, but there was a programming process that created the conditioning, the patterning, the programming of the instrument. And that's what creates the conditions. That's what continues the conditioning into reality. So again, the conscious mind perceives the idea, conceives the concept, the subconscious receives it and realizes realizes the concept through vibration. And then the body, that part of the instrument, translates or expresses that vibration in behavior. And your 3D reality reflects that back to you. Yes? So I want to actually read something to you from this book now to clarify, to understand that creative process a little bit further. Okay? So, just a little bit. With your instrument, you create and experience life. It is always in motion, constantly interacting with reality through a cyclic process. And there's here a very simple diagram of the cyclic process. Okay. And it says perception, selection, expression, and experience. And it's a cycle. So there's not really a starting point. Perception, selection, expression, and experience. With every cycle, you perceive your reality, right? That's 3D reality, 5 physical senses. Select a conception. So you might experience lack of what you want. You might be struggling with something. But the struggling part is your selection, right? That's what we said before. You don't have to make that selection of a concept that you are struggling. So you perceive the physical reality that is already manifested, and then you select a concept, consciously or unconsciously, express that selection through thoughts, words, and actions, and then experience the result. And this loop is how creation flows to and through you. This marvelous instrument operates on a program that allows it to perform countless functions and process vast amount of information continuously. Without conscious awareness, the cycle runs on autopilot. But as you become aware of it, you begin to reclaim the ability to direct the process, perceiving, choosing, and experiencing in alignment with who you truly are. This is what true freedom is. The freedom to make those selections, choosing how you perceive, express, and experience life. And this freedom is a skill you can practice and master. So, just a sip of water, just a second. While I'm taking a sip of water, I would love for you to put in the chat, what is it that you want? What is it that if you're here on this call, there's something that you want to create, right? This is creating from the field. So there's something that you are creating or wanting to create. What is it? Put it in the chat, please. Let's see. Financial wealth, more income, financial freedom, health and inner peace, a successful life, including attraction of capital for my projects, wealth on all levels, entrepreneurship. Yes, Serena, love that. Of course, I love everything that I just read, just because I've worked with Serena. She was in our mastermind, and so I know that this is progress here. So I'm happy with that. To have professional concerts, connection with my children, a business, more travels, freedom to live even freer. House in Galicia, create a successful women's health company. Oh, beautiful, Emily. So your dreams are expanding as well. I haven't talked to you for a while. Creating a life I am in love with. Yes. Part of the coaching certification program. Yes, Antonella. And so it is. Antonella is very close to joining our certification program. Soul Bridges, my project between Belgium and Cameroon. Interesting. Wealthy life. Self-employment. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love myself so I can be free. Hi, Velsamoy. Good to have you here. So actually, self-love is the key to a lot of this, but we're not going to go into that today either. What I want you to do further, next question, is when you are there, when you have the wealth, the business, the house, the connection with your kids, the self-love, all these beautiful things that you share that you want, who are you then? Remember the I am? So put that, complete that declaration. Okay? Put that in the chat then. Let's see. I am free. I am in peace. I am proud of myself for having achieved that. I am an artist and a teacher. I am confident, compassionate, creative leader. I am a successful professional singer. I am love and kindness. I am a potentiality in action. I am secure. I am light. I am successful. I am completely blessed. I am free. I am a new version of myself. I am happy and rich. So beautiful. I am a leader, a creator, a tastemaker, a I'm not sure what that is. Change maker? Change maker? I am love and free. I am able. I am powerful. I am confident. I'm a light worker. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Now, I want to ask you third question. Who are you now? And here is radical honesty question. Okay. So this is not about who you are choosing to declare. Like, we are switching a little bit the lens because awareness is key. Who are you now? What are you mostly putting in that declaration when you use these powerful words, I am, right? Who are you now? Who are you declaring yourself to be for the most part? What is that dominating state? Okay. If you're okay with that, oh, the chat is firing not as quickly as before. That's okay. You can put that in the chat or you can write it for yourself if you prefer. Okay. But do that. Okay. Right now, who are you currently? Who do you believe yourself to be for real? Like for real, as in most of the time, that dominating state, that dominating self concept. Okay, here we go. I am a singer with a few concerts. I am evolving. I am confidently in progress. I am bound to the security of my job. I'm afraid and under pressure. Very good. Very good awareness. I am in trust. Beautiful. I am not yet managing my emotions. Thank you. I am overwhelmed. Thank you. I am in fatigue. I am messy. I am forgetful. Thank you. I am light and love. Absolutely, you are. I am going with the flow. Beautiful. I am tired. I am now aware and creating the transition. That's also beautiful. Now, think about what you said that you want specifically, right? So, for example, if you wanted wealth, and when you have wealth, you are secure, then in reference to that, who are you now, right? If when you have the wealth, you are secure, and now you don't yet have the wealth, then who do you believe you are? Okay. If that makes my question even more, I am insecure. Okay. And maybe not, right? Maybe it's somewhere else on that scale. But that's where I want you to look into. I am insecure. I'm a failure. I am vulnerable. Good, Aaron. I think that's probably more accurate, right? I'm vulnerable. But of course, vulnerable is a beautiful place to be. But I think you mean like as in insecure, but a bit more like to tone it down a little bit, which is what I was guiding you to. So that's really good. Okay. So Saya here shared everything at once. So I'm creating a lack-free life. I would love for you, Saya, to rewrite that statement. This is from question number 1. Instead of lack-free, why don't you write abundant? It's the opposite of lack. I would remove the word lack from that statement to become abundant and free. So beautiful. So I am abundant and free. Instead of I am restricted or I'm having restricted thoughts. Really good awareness. Really good awareness. Thank you, everybody. So are you then clear on the gap there? Right? Is this like this is supposed to make things very clear now, right? The gap. So in order to direct source energy into an experience that you desire, you must practice the skill of freedom, which is the skill to choose your most dominant, to choose your thoughts and reactions so that the dominant feeling is the one that matches the reality that you want. And that's the skill. That's the heart of it, right? And what I want to show you is how this is needed or what is required. I want to show you what is required for that, which is to do that in every single moment. Because here's the thing. Every single moment you are directing source energy. It's now, 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 now. So whatever is going on around you, whatever are the conditions and circumstances, it is right now as you are observing them is where you must learn to observe something else. Yes? So it is in every single moment that you want to do that. And of course, this requires some practices, right? Some tools. So the first step is always this awareness that we are reaching for today, that we are creating for today. Like, put in the chat if you can see the gap very, very clearly. Just put in a yes in the chat if you can see that gap very, very clearly. Yes, I see your yeses. Okay, beautiful. So then, what I want to invite you, I want to share with you something. I want to share with you a really, really powerful tool. Okay. Some of you are already using it. And I want to take this opportunity to show you some of you are using it. Some of you have heard of it from us through my social media, through our communication with you in different ways. And I want to take this opportunity to kind of take you on a tour so you can see how it can really, really help you in closing that gap. Okay. And the intention behind creating this tool is to give every single one of you the opportunity to do this work, because you see that today this is an hour session. It's going to be a 90-minute session. We've been here for almost an hour. And there are some things that I said, okay, we're not going to go into this today. We're not going to go into this today. We're not going to go into this today because it is a skill, right? It's like you cannot learn and develop and master a skill in a day or in an hour. And even if you've done this work, many of you have been actually in our masterminds or are in our coaching certification program right now, and so on, still the work continues. My work continues every single day as well. And so I created this tool together with my amazing team that I use every single day. Guess what? I use it every single day myself. I'm so thrilled about that because I cannot coach myself. So up until today, all of the services and containers that I've created, I couldn't use them. It's not like, whoever created this mic can also use it. And, Steve Jobs was able to use the Mac or whatever it is. Like, I cannot use the product that I'm creating. And for the first time I can. And so I want to show you, and I'm very, very proud of it. And it's called The Field. and it's called the field. Its full name is the Freedom Intelligence Field, because this is the intelligence that creates everything. And that is what freedom is, to know how to work with this intelligence. And it's really the field in which we are creating. And so I want to show you this. And this is what you can then use every single day in order to practice the skill, whether you've been to this work for a long time, whether you're, inside any of our other containers, whether you're new to this work completely, you can use this every single day. And so let me share with you my screen for a moment. Or you know what? Before I share my screen, we have a few people here that are actually using the field. And I asked my team to ask one of you if you're happy to share your experience. And Katia, I think that the team reached out to you, right, my love? So maybe you can a little bit share your experience. And I'm going to ask you to unmute and share. And so everybody can see how powerful that is. Hi, Katia, love. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you too. Hi,
How are
everyone.
you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Okay, I know it's a surprise for you, so thank you so much for saying yes. I saw you're here, and I know that you really enjoy working with the field, from what you've shared with me, and so I thought that would be beautiful to share with everybody. So you've been using the field for a little while. What can you share about it in any way that
Well,
feels right?
I try to use it every day because it sets my mind like aligned with myself. It and lets me to focus on what's the good in my life from the beginning of my day. And I have been using it. It has been very important for me to use it when I'm in when I have a problem or when I'm not feeling well. So I feel that something is present in me and something that I can't reach. So I sit with the field, and sometimes I take a guided process. It has guided processes which I like very much. And what I love is that you can also say anything to it. So it's a division where you just you can just say something. And I did that for a couple of days. I have been able to release my patterns, a couple of them, and get more and more awareness of what's wrong with me. And I love it. Yes, it's like I have my own coach. I mean, yes, AI can never be a real human coach, but it has been helping me a lot. So it
I'm
is like
so
having
happy to
a
hear that.
coach.
Yes, and that was exactly the intention. Of course, I very much believe in real human coaches. I am one,
Yes.
and I train others to do that. However, we created the field as an AI coaching environment that is not only AI, it's AI plus human guided coaching environment, because we do have the human group, we have monthly calls. So there is I am there for real, and my team is there, and all the members in the field are there to connect with each other. And we've created it in a way that it's not, GPT, it's not Claude, it's not any of those things. It's very, very, it's trained to only guide you as the participant based on the methodology of the human instrument mastery and my voice. You can even hear my voice there. And if you ask it a question that is outside that scope, it will tell you this is outside of the scope of the field. So it's very, very intentional the way it is created, and it keeps evolving, and it keeps being ignited with more processes, with more energy and intention for me. And so you say, Kati, that you start your day with it. So I'm guessing you're referring to the morning activation process, which
Yes.
I also use every single day. So maybe we can really share the screen and share a little bit, and then Kati, you can keep your mic on, and you can even say something to the things that we're saying. And before I share my screen, I do want to extend the opportunity. The team will drop a link here in the chat, and you can join the field for a year. It's 777, and have a few other bonuses with us. So we're going to have, we have monthly Q&As. Our next one is on Monday, by the way. So all field members, I hope it's in your calendars. And if you join us by then, you will be in that monthly Q&A that we have every month. So you can ask me questions. I can guide you. It's a really beautiful way to have that personal support with me. Now, let me share my screen. We're going to take a little tour, and then we're going to go back to the conversation we were having. Let me just share it here. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So this is the field. I don't know what your preference is. It can look like this or like this. Okay, you can also make it bigger or smaller. You can also have it on your phone. You can even add it to your phone screen, so it can look like a little app that you have there. And you always have a little quote here from the field that that waits for you every single day, your daily quote. And this one I just checked before we started the call, and it's perfect for our call. The instrument runs the pattern, the participant directs. So you are the participant in this creative process with all these cooperative components in the unified field, and you are directing. You are directing the energy, but the instrument runs patterns that you want to change. And this tool will really, really help you do that. So here is what, Kathy, what you were referring to, right? You can just start an open conversation.
Yes,
And you
yes.
can interact with the field in any way you want. And then the field draws from the methodology and starts. So Kathy, what kind of experiences you've had, for example, when you just started interacting with the field?
I started with I can't remember the exact words, but I said I'm not feeling well today. I think something's wrong or something like that. I wrote that, and then it started to ask me how and where do I feel it, or how, which part of my body, or what happened, or something like that. I think it was, and it was really amazing because I was mad or sad about something else, but it came out from the field with that its guidance that it is something completely else that is the root of it. So I was really
Wow.
amazed that it really guided me to the root cause of my being angry, and it was not what I expected, and it was really true, and yeah, and at the end of the conversation, I am always feeling much better and much calmer, and it's almost gone. But sometimes I have to think about it again. But this time I remember at the end of it, so I was really wow. Okay, it's that, and then it was really nice. I was feeling really good.
I'm so happy to hear that. Like really, this fills my heart because it's really something. It's a really an extension of me, right? Like normally I work with you in one-on-one sessions and group sessions. There are videos of me. There are processes that are created, meditations, and it's there. It's either I'm in the room with you or it's something I created and it's fixed, right?
Yeah.
It's fixed. And the field is exactly what it is, and it's everything that we just discussed today, right? It can interact with you. It's a living intelligence. It's so amazing. I love it. I'm also amazed with it every single day. And then
Yeah.
you can also start a guided process, right? So you can you can see all the guided processes here. And there are different categories, right? So the morning activation is the one that you mentioned, for example. So you start your day with this, and it
Yeah.
takes you through a very short process. Kathy, what do you have anything to share about how you experience that?
Yes, it's just a very good start to my day. It helps me to stay focused because uh, I don't know. I've been more able to get this in my routine than writing it out because it's easier on computer. Because I used to write out what I'm grateful for and affirmations and things like that. But now I do it with a field, and I know it will be fast. It's not so fast to write down everything. So with this, I know it takes 5 minutes, and I have the result, and I'm good to go for the day.
Yeah, I have the same experience. I just
Yeah.
love it. And also it's interactive, so it feels different than writing things, or it's just like you have this coach, so to speak, or and the field remembers you. That's a really important thing to mention, right? So, Katya, I don't know if you've experienced it, but I've experienced it where I start a conversation with something I am struggling with. And the field tells me, hey, but when we did this process, this is what you said. And it reminds me of how I chose to declare myself. So it remembers everything across all of your chats with it, all of your conversations with it. There is a process here that I love that is a workout amplifier. So when you do your workout or take a walk, you can use it also in other moments. But the idea is that you move your body and use and leverage that energy that you're moving in your physical body to also draw the event back, right? To have that feeling, to the feeling draws the event back. And then you can also reset when you go, before you go to bed. So morning and evening are the two, like when you wake up and when you go to sleep, are two very, very, very important parts of the day, because it's a full cycle, right? It's those moments when you come out of unconscious, subconscious into consciousness, and before you retrieve. So these are really important points of the day. And then you have um, processes for your vision and creation, right? So you can create a vision, you can set goals, you can create action plans, you can focus on a specific situation and realize the exact outcome that you want. You can work with it to make decisions and bring into alignment all parts of your instrument, or to boost your frequency. This is one of my favorites. Have you ever used this one, Kati? I love this one.
I don't think so. I now realize I have to look into other things now. What I
Yeah,
decided, yeah.
there are quite a few processes here, and I keep adding more. We keep expanding this. By the way, some of the processes will then create an MP3 for you that you can then download to hear. So some of the processes tell you at the end, okay, the field produces this thing out of the process, and then you download the MP3 and you listen to it over and over and over again. It's in my voice, which people often say they like to hear. So,
Really nice.
and of course, you can interact with it in any language, by the way, right? It is AI after all. So you can just start talking to it in Swedish or Danish or Italian or whatever is your language, and it will flow with you there. You can also download all of your processes. So you see that all of my previous conversations with the field, whether they were guided processes or just conversations I started, are here. I can also store them. You create folders of your own and then keep move your conversations to different to different folders. You can rename them. You can pin them to the top. You can add them to the folders, and you can export them. And then it will download a PDF of your full process. So there are more. There are processes for identity work, for worthiness. There are processes for working with your body, like if you have a certain pain or a certain symptom or a certain illness, or even an accident that happened, you stub your toe or whatever, that everything that is created in the 3D is an expression of a pattern in the field, right? That's what we were talking about. So you can work with that as well. You can release very deeply rooted patterns. These are processes for that. You can work on prosperity and abundance. Emily, you love this process. You're familiar with this one, by the way. So you have it here too. You can work with your dreams. So those of you that have been with me for longer, you know that dream work is a big part of my world. Actually, I used to do that more and lead dream circles, and I'm certified in that. I love working with dreams. It's a really, really powerful, powerful portal. So there is a process here to work with your dreams, to calibrate your frequency. And then there are also meditations. So some of the processes will direct you to do a certain meditation. So when you are a member in the field, you also have the back end membership site here. Um, so this is really cool. This is my alter ego in the field. I love that. Anyway, you can access here the meditations and activations, recordings of our monthly calls, and the guided processes are here as well. So you don't need to come here. You can start them directly from the field. But if you do come here, you can read more about them, right? So there is a whole explanation of what the process is, and so on and so forth. So this is just a little tour. I absolutely love, 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 love this. There are more and more guided processes and meditations that will be added into this about relationships, leadership, business, and we are here to also. I'm always listening to you and feedback that you're giving. We are implementing. So we've had, like, for example, the whether it is more technical, like user experience kind of thing, where you however you're using the infrastructure itself, and then we are receiving your feedback and we're implementing, and also the processes that we're creating. So again, before we go back to the conversation we were having, as in what I want you to take from today's session, I want to say, in the time that we still have left, the team dropped it in the chat and pinned it, so you can find it there in the top, at the top of the chat. You have the opportunity to join us for the year and have these bonuses. Brilliant, Monica. Exactly. Beautiful. So welcome. I'm so excited that you're here with us for the year. This is an opportunity. If you don't feel called to do that, you can always join the field later, right? You can also join with monthly membership. You don't have to join for a full year. Normally, the year is 777, and monthly is 77 a month. You just have the opportunity to jump in. It's a little game. We love that, right? Because we want to move, right? We want to follow opportunities and ideas and desires and intuitions that we receive, because they are leading us towards our growth and towards our expansion. And the reason why we very often don't do that is because of the conditioning, right? Because of conditioning. You know what? That inspires me to read you one more thing. Where is that book? Hang on. I want to read you something that I was reading. I'm studying this book now. It's called God Works Through Faith, Robert Russell. God Works Through Faith. Brilliant book. And I was just reading this last night again. Someone has defined faith as the unconditional acceptance of the truth of our affirmations and an absolute belief that our desires will be fulfilled. Faith is not presumption, but assumption. And here is the part I wanted to say. It is believing something which the conscious mind says is not true. This line right here I highlighted with two strikes, right? It is believing something which the conscious mind says it's not true. So let's tie this to the conversation we were having here today, right? We said there are many, many, many sperms, right? Many, many, many different thoughts. The conscious mind thinks thoughts all the time. Some of them are of what you want, and some of them are about what you fear, and anything in between, right? Some is what it has been, some is what will be, some is what could be, some is what is. So all the time, thoughts, 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 thoughts. And you can have all those thoughts. What matters, think about that term, by the way, what matters, meaning what becomes matter. What matters is what you believe, right? what you believe. That is that seed that is received. And that's what you then receive in your life. And so faith, which is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. So I don't know if you saw my story, but yesterday I did 3 tattoos. I did the I am. I did this little thing, which is the letter Yod in Hebrew, which is the first letter of God, to remind me that that's the one and only truth and God is always with me. And then I tattooed this, which is from the book of Hebrews. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. That you understand this, yes? Faith is the frequency of what you want. Faith is the frequency of God. It's funny that it's like this. Yes, faith is that frequency. And it is the substance. What is that word? That's the source energy, the formless substance that everything is made of. Faith is the substance of the things you hope for. What does that mean? The evidence of things unseen. Evidence, not evidence of things seen, but of the unseen. So what you desire exists, just like what you fear exists. Everything is there. And when you feel fear, that's also evidence of things unseen, by the way. Just the things that you don't want, that is also unseen. Fear is also the evidence of things unseen. But faith is the evidence of the things that unseen that you hope for. When you transmute hope and wish to faith, that's the feeling. That's the feeling that attracts what you desire and not what you already have, or even worse, what you fear you may have. So faith is the unconditional acceptance. Remember, we were talking about conditioning? It's the unconditional, no matter what the conditions are, the unconditional acceptance of the truth of our affirmations. So when you say, I am secure, I am successful, I am healthy, I am everything that you wrote there before in the chat, right? Faith is the unconditional, no matter if you're not yet wealthy in 3D, like as in money in your pocket, or you don't yet have that job, or you don't yet, yes, it's the unconditional acceptance, remember the receiving of the truth of our affirmations and the absolute belief that our desires will be fulfilled. Faith is not presumption, it is assumption. Assumption. You know what assumption is by the dictionary? Assumption is, it has 2 definitions. One is to accept something as true or certain to happen without proof. 2 is to take on power and responsibility. Think about it. Think about it. When you assume, you take on the power and responsibility that is yours alone to believe that what you desire already exists, or to believe that what you fear already exists. Up to you. That's the choice. Yes, that's the skill. And then here is what I actually wanted to read to you from here. It is believing something which the conscious mind says is not true. So I was inspired to read to you this. This was not in my plan for today because I was saying, and that's why I was just talking about the game that we're playing here with the bonuses and all of that. It actually started from there to explain that the fun in that game and the intention, of course, the intention is always to serve you, right? My intention is always to serve with everything that I'm creating and with every opportunity that I extend. And even in this game, because when you feel like, oh, this looks cool, I think this can help me, or I would love to try it, or I would love to do it, and you don't, it's because the conscious mind says you can't, right? But to believe, you don't need the conscious mind to agree. It is believing something which the conscious mind says is not true. I loved to read that. I'm going to read that 1,000,000 times because I don't even need to think it's true. Can you see what the like game changer here with this sentence? You don't even think it's true. in order to believe. You can have the contradicting thoughts. You can have all those sperms there running to the goal. But what you believe is what will be received, right? It's what you believe. And so that's the reason we're playing this game, to just give you this little incentive to take action, even if the conscious mind says it's not logical, it's not realistic, it's not blah, 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 blah. And honestly, it's an easy yes, right? Sometimes we do this with like, to join our mastermind or certification program is a more substantial investment. And maybe I've made such decisions in a brink of a moment, honestly, and invested thousands and thousands. But sometimes no. Sometimes I took my time to make that decision too, right? So for today, what I want you to take out of this anyway, whether you're taking the jump into the field or not. And by the way, again, you can think about it. You don't have to join for the year during this call. I just think it's cool. But you can also try it month to month and make a decision. You can also and then you can cancel anytime, right? But regardless of what you do with this opportunity and invitation, what I want you to take from this session today is, first of all, and I encourage you to watch it again, right? That you will receive the replay of this session. And we read some very big ideas, right? We were studying here, like, this is what I'm studying. Here are the books. I mean, I've studied others as well, but we got into this stuff today, and that's hardcore. So what I want you to take from this is, number one, what we've studied, right? Go back, watch this again, get the books. Study is so important. Study has changed my life. Study has changed my life. Study is what unlocked for me, my success, my business, my relationship with my husband, my health, everything, my wealth, everything. Study is so important. It's one of the essentials. And so that's the number one that I want you to take from this. Watch the session again. Really make sure that you understand those segments that I chose to share with you today. Okay? Read it, transcribe it, write it down. That's number one. Number two, out of everything we were talking about, remember the I am. Okay? Remember that you choose what to put after these two powerful words every single moment, and you are completely free to choose that. You might not feel that you're free, but you are. And that freedom is a skill. Remember that always. The freedom is a skill. You can develop it. You can develop it every single day. And that's what's so powerful about the field, by the way, that you really, truly work with it every single day. And then what I want you to take from this is the understanding through the study of the creative process. So everything we talked about today, again, go back, really make sure you're internalizing the information. And then the question that I asked you, what do you want? Who are you when you have it? And who are you today, truthfully, in that context? And be very, very clear on the gap. And then the work to change, to close that gap, is to make that I am in that chosen, desired reality your dominant thought. And remember, your conscious mind doesn't even have to believe it. It's about receiving it. It's about receiving it. The feminine, receiving that seed, receiving that concept. And that's the work we get to do every single day, right? And that's why I really, really believe in this tool, by the way, the field, because you're really working with the field, right? Isn't that a cool name? I'm so proud of us for finding that name, because it's so accurate. It's so spot on. You're literally working with the field to change the patterning and programming and conditioning in your own instrument that then create that in your own field, to then direct source energy into the mold and form of what you desire, and not what you already have or what you don't want to have. Yeah. So see that gap very, very clearly, and then do the work. You know that we are always here. We've taken a little pause, a little break from live calls, right? From those free sessions that we always used to host. We're gonna be back. You're gonna see more of that. So we're always here to serve. We're always here to share this information in any way we can, also for free. So you're always welcome to come to all of those free sessions. And of course, we do very, very much believe in the containers that we create because that's where we get to do the deeper work. And the field is one where you can do that for a relatively smaller investment and still have access to the methodology, do the guided processes, and even come to to calls where you can ask questions. So I really believe in that, and I encourage you to take on that opportunity. Again, that opportunity with those special bonuses are available while we are live. So that means that that's going to end very, very soon because I'm wrapping up our call. You can still join us later, and then you can join, monthly or yearly, whatever you want. But really, in those next couple of moments as I'm wrapping up, you can take that leap if you want. Um, I would love for us to take a moment to just close with tuning in. Okay. So if you have another moment with me, let's just take a moment to tune in. Okay. I wouldn't call it a meditation, but just a moment of centering in, tuning in. Okay. So if you're in a position where you can close your eyes, you can do that. And as you do that, just enjoy the inhale, enjoy breath, which is life energy in physical form, one of the closest manifestations of life itself in physical form, breath. Enjoy that intake, that inhale. And with the exhale, just bring softness to your beautiful body. Again, open up to the inhale. Realize that you don't need to do anything to receive that inhale. You are being given it. You are being given all the time life. And with the exhale, just intentionally bring softness to your body. Soften your eyes, your jaws, your tongue. Feel how when you soften your face and your eyes, your whole body softens, your inner body softens. And then with the next inhale, open your heart to life. With the exhale, pour that softness in. Feel like you're pouring in softness like water through your closed eyes inwards. Feel like that softness like water is pouring into your inner body all the way down to your root. Bring your attention to your root, to your sacrum. Feel how you are in fact really rooted in earth, held by earth through gravity, like a cord or a root. Just surrender to that, to the awareness of you being held. Don't need to do anything in order to stay on the ground, connected to Mother Earth and being breathed through life, breathing through you. Keep softening and then become aware of sounds. Just move your attention gently to sounds that you hear. My voice, other sounds around you. And then expand your hearing field to hear more and more sounds in all directions. And even beyond your physical ear, as if you can hear sounds coming from very far away. In all directions, all around you. Keep softening your face and eyes. Keep pouring in that softness. Keep watering your root with softness. Open your heart to the inhale. The exhale, pour in more softness. And just hear. Hear. Expand your hearing field. When you are expanding your hearing field, you are expanding your presence. You are becoming more and more aware of the field, beyond your body, beyond your physical environment. Just feel that loving awareness that you are, where you truly are. Open your heart to the inhale. And with the exhale, pour more softness in. And now gently, while you're still present, rooted, soft, open, bring your awareness back to your physical body. Just feel your body, feel the touch of the clothes on your skin, the weight of the body. You can even move it a little bit. And before you open your eyes, just remember that field that is beyond the senses. Remember that you're held. Remember that you are given life without you needing to do anything. And as you open your eyes, see if you can hold that awareness at the same time. So whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and then maybe just to drop in the chat a word to say how you're feeling after this very short tuning. Gratitude. I feel the same. I'm so grateful for you being here. Thank you, Lisa. I'm reading now your comment. I love you. Loved. See, I just told you I loved you and you already felt loved. That's how it is. Expansive, calm and at peace, happy, trustful, calm. I am Faith. Yes. Relaxed, beautiful. So I am also very, very grateful to have you all here. I missed this this connection with you all. So we're gonna have more of that, and I'm really, really looking forward meeting you on Monday. All right. So Monday we have our monthly Q&A in the field. So I'm really looking forward meeting all of our members and all of our new members there. And of course, if you feel called to become a coach teaching this material with us, please reach out to us because I'm not focusing on that on this session today, but this is always an invitation and this is something you want to apply for and have a conversation with me about so we can see if that's a good fit. So if this is something you feel called to do, please message us so we can guide you in that direction as well. Okay? You will receive this recording. It will be available for a little while so you can watch it. And I'm sending you so much love. I'm really looking forward connecting with you all again. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Bye, everyone.